10 seconds, a few second countdown. Here we go. Hey guys, this is Monty again. We're doing the Mont and Ash podcast show.
Hey guys.
We're back at it again. So this is episode number 3.
Yes, it is episode number 3.
Moving right along.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, how's your day been? How's your week been?
I mean, my day has been great, better than yesterday. My phone decided that it wanted to be stuck in one position, like most people's relationships in life.
I almost went there. I was drinking. Go ahead.
Hey, that's like a goal in my life. Is like if I can make someone spit their drink out, I know I'm that funny. So I almost did. So I was that close. That's what she said. But anyways,
yes.
but my screen was like, I woke up to my screen just on the icon, and I'm like, oh shit, what time is it? I'm like, it's later outside. I'm like, oh god. And so I'm rushing, there's traffic, try to fix my phone along the way, not while driving, of course, guys. Be safe. Always.
Do you have clocks in your house?
Downstairs I do. I don't have like a clock in my room or anything. I rely solely on my phone, which I'm
See?
questioning that now. I'm questioning that now.
I have the old school, has the wood paneling on the side that ticks and ticks. I still have it.
Uh-huh.
I don't need it for an alarm clock, but just in case the phone goes dead, I can
Mhm.
still see what time it is. And if the power goes out, there's a battery in it, and
That's
it still
smart.
stays alive. I just needed to roll over and look at it every once in a while.
You know, I'm a millennial, so you know, like we rely a lot on that stuff, but then there's probably some millennials out there where they're just like, I'm just going to go old school at the same time.
My
So.
microwave and oven is always off. I never set those clocks because nobody ever goes to the microwave and say, what time is it? You don't go to the stove and say, what time is it?
Yeah.
Who cares what time it is on the stove and microwave?
Mm-hmm.
So I have to have a clock and then my phone.
Yes. And the funny thing is that, like, I was late for work. My boss, she was like, okay, she was like, even if I'm running, like, a couple minutes late, I usually, like, text her, call her or something to let her know. And she's like, if you go past, like, a certain time, then I'll get concerned.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, I got you a little concerned. So she's like, I'm glad you're okay, but it's safe. And then finally, when I went to my provider, they were able to fix it, type of thing, but I've lost a few things on there over, which I was bummed out about. But
yes, okay, so let me ask you this.
Yes.
I have a friend that has a phone, and it's an old phone.
Mm-hmm.
And she don't want to get rid of it because she has old picture and text of people who have died in her phone.
Yeah.
So is that, I didn't know that was such a thing. I guess I never had anybody who died on me that I still have their information on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
What mentally I try to do is take that information, put it in a computer somewhere, put it in the cloud somewhere that it's safe.
Yeah.
I understand text messages may be hard to do, but pictures, yes.
Yes.
Pictures, put it in the cloud.
Well, I learned when I was looking through my iCloud settings, I didn't put it on text messages.
Ah.
I had it saved on everything else, so all my like recordings that I do for ideas for comedy, because I do voice memos, because a lot of times when I have ideas, it's always when I'm fucking driving. And it drives me nuts. I'm like, why can't I just do that when I'm at home doing nothing?
Yeah.
But then again, boring, driving's boring. So I'm probably trying to entertain myself, even though I'm listening to like different things. Maybe I have ADHD. I don't know. I've never been diagnosed, so I don't know. But, I was bummed out about that, however. I still have, like, photos of her, of my relative who passed just, like, a month ago. She's, like, a second mom to me and everything, very supportive of my dreams. And, like, even when I went to go visit her, she's like, oh, you're not going to do comedy while you're here in Seattle? I'm like, no, I'm here to be with you. Because, like, I don't know how long this is going to last.
Yeah.
And, I made her laugh, like, a little bit here and there, which I'm like, hey, there's my comedy show right there. You got to experience some of my comedy a little bit. And got to spend time with family, because I usually go to Seattle, like, once a year, usually, maybe every other year. It just depends on how much the ticket prices are, or like, what's the urgency
Yeah,
of
yeah.
going back. But hopefully, eventually, I've never done comedy in Seattle. That's like a goal of mine to do comedy there. From what I've noticed, it's a little hard to get into Seattle when it comes to comedy.
Really?
Because I've reached out to places, and I won't name names or anything, but like some of them, like they're like, oh, you're reaching out too early.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me say this. I don't know if we talked about this before or not,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of times when it's your first time at any comedy club, it's
Mm-hmm.
on your dime.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning you got to pay for the gas to get there, travel expensive, hotel, whatever, and you may have to go up and do it for free.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm
then
okay with that.
They even might give you 3 to 5 minutes, which is very, very small.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to prove yourself.
Oh yeah.
Or you have to have tons of videos of you
Mm-hmm.
doing comedy, and then send that to them. Then they may give you more time.
Yes. So I totally understand that.
All
everything.
that, yeah.
But then when I reach out to them, they don't like respond back to me.
Really?
Yeah. So
I haven't tried Seattle.
Well, I'm part of the group and everything that's there. There are a lot of nice people there. It's just when I actually reached out to those certain comedy places.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, you have to sign up, all these other things in advance, because it must be a popular place. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
I'm not really sure, because I've never been.
Yeah.
Like, the first time I ever, like, went to a comedy show was here in Tennessee, like, almost 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. So, before that, I would just watch comedy on TV. That was really it. So, but I love it. I really do love it. So, but other than that, like, my week's been good. How about yours?
Pretty good. Staying busy. Computer repair here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, as soon as you leave, I got some more computer work to do.
Okay.
So, my work lasts all day long sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten calls at 2 o'clock in the morning. People are like, my computer died. What do you want me to do?
Wow.
So, I'll make an appointment for you the next day or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get out of my house at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, quit watching porn at 2 o'clock.
Exactly. Do it earlier.
That's what it is.
Like, if you need...
You're not doing spreadsheets at 2 a.m.
Get some melatonin, drink some alcohol. Do what you need to do when it comes to that, because I don't watch porn, so...
they're obviously doing something they're not supposed to at 2 a.m.
Right.
So
That's when their spouse is asleep. That's what it is.
Exactly. So I'm like, nah, I'm not going to come out and see you tonight.
They're like, man, she won't do what I want her to do. I'm just going to whack off right now.
That's funny.
But yes, hopefully my family members that have children, they're like, hey, your auntie's on YouTube. Please don't show this to them, guys.
Yes.
Please don't show it to them. Maybe when they're like almost 18, you can't. But don't. Please don't. This is not clean comedy whatsoever. Because clean comedy is hard. It's really hard to do.
It's possible, but it is hard to do.
Yeah.
Because I always skate the line of doing dirty and clean, but I'm like, I always lean toward dirty.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, as a comedian, you got to talk about what you know.
Yes.
And if it's sex is what you know, then might as well go ahead and tell it.
Right. And then a lot of people in my family would be like, this is awkward, but I mean, I love you guys, but I'm an adult.
I love it. I love it.
But, yeah, I definitely enjoy comedy. It's a lot of fun, and it's cheaper than therapy.
Yes. That's exactly what I do it.
Yes.
I make myself laugh anyway, but to make other people laugh is such a powerful tool.
It really is. Like, I've learned, because my brother passed away about almost 10 years. November will be 10 years. He had a disease called cystic fibrosis, had a lung transplant, didn't really work well for very long ever. Like, he lived to the most that he could. Which was great. Like, you were just like, this is a new kind of person, but still the same person at the same time. So when he passed, like, I was super depressed.
Oh, really?
That's one of the reasons why I left Seattle, was because, like, everything reminded me of him. Because, that was where we were born and raised, all this other stuff. And for me, like, I was having, like, PTSD dreams, anxiety, panic attacks, and a lot of people didn't know about that because I kept it pretty concealed, because I didn't want people to think I was, like, crazy or different things like that. And people that go through that, they're not crazy, And there's a lot of people that have gone through different things like that because grief is so different for everyone. Like, I've learned to find humor when I was going through grief.
That's good.
And, like, he was a very funny person. Like, I thought he could make it in SNL.
Really?
Yeah, like, he was that funny. Like, even, like, some of people in my family, like, they're like, you're funny, but your brother was... I'm like, I know, I can't top my brother and everything, but, hey, at least you have two funny people. There's quite a bit of funny people in my family.
Funny.
But, you know, there's, like, a lot of people... Like, I've actually had, like, one guy that's like, oh, I'm funnier than you. And he never did comedy. I'm like, okay, Mr. Small Dick Energy. You want to get on stage? No.
Yeah.
I'm like, exactly. If you're so funnier than me.
I should throw a shout out, throw some shade. I'm not really throwing shade. There's a guy named Marcus. I go to a bar all the time. A guy named Marcus. He tells me, Monty, I'm funnier than you. All right, well, I'll see you on my show on Sunday. Come do comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I've invited him so many times that he won't do it. Oh, you can't pay me enough. Dude, if you're going to prove yourself, then prove yourself on my stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Here it is, I'm doing comedy. Mm-hmm. I'm getting paid to do comedy, and you're not. You're just a funny guy at work or funny guy at the bar.
Yeah.
That doesn't translate to the same thing.
That's different. That's a different kind of funny.
And there's some people who are naturally funny, which I do get it.
Yes.
But you got to still prove yourself some form, some way, some fashion. So I'm like, get on my stage and show me what you got.
Oh, yeah.
He won't do it. He won't even come to the show to enjoy the show. I'm like, dude, are you serious?
Well,
we have this debate all the time.
Well, tell him that there's a hot comedian on the show, and he might show up. And, you know, like, yeah, I might be talking to someone, but we're not exclusive. We're not in a committed relationship or anything. He's probably not an attractive man with a small... but...
I'm telling you, you hang out with me one night, and you're like, dude, how do you do this? You will get so many guys hitting on you.
Oh, I mean...
Because, you're very funny, you're very talented, you're very beautiful.
Thank you.
But trust me, you are a hot commodity in my circle of friends. So I can't wait to see you on Sunday. You'll be instant success.
That's good. That's good. It's so funny though because like back in the day, like I glowed up and everything. Like guys used to joke around and say like, "Oh, you're pretty, ugly."
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
I need to find some photos and I'll show you what I used to look like.
I went through your photos, not to say I stalked you, but I went through because I was going to add some photos to say you're doing Comedy Sunday. Mm-hmm. And I went way back. So like, you still look good when you were younger.
Well, that's because I didn't post those photos that are on there. Like, women know how to advertise themselves when it comes to that. And that's why guys are like always like, oh, I got catfish, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, dude, what do you look like without that beard and mustache then?
Yeah.
Because, like, they complain about, like, oh, women wear makeup once they, like, let me see it sweat off and everything, then we'll see what's going on. I'm like, dude.
That's hilarious.
Show me what you got underneath that beard and we'll talk. Or show me what you got down here and then we'll talk. If you don't know how to use it, then bye-bye.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
You learned that at such a young age. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yes, you got so much more to do.
Oh, yes.
Interesting indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Okay, yeah. We're halfway through it already.
I mean...
And we're just bullshitting.
Yeah, we're bullshitting. It's always fun to bullshit people, you know.
Let it flow out naturally.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Like, people can tell on stage if you're forcing things. Especially if you have done it before.
Yeah.
Or, like, on dates. Like, you could tell when some things are forced. You're just, like, you're silent, and then you're just trying to figure out what the fuck to say. And sometimes it is nerves. Sometimes it is nerves, but then there's sometimes you're just like, okay, like, I don't want to leave quite yet, but also this is boring. So how can I do this nicely without
You're meeting the wrong people. Good Lord.
Well, there was a time where it was, like, a lot of interesting people, and, like, all the ladies that I used to work with back in the day in retail, you know, that were married and committed relationships, don't know what it's like to be on online dating. They'd always be like, so what's going on in Ashton's life right now? It's like I had like a reality TV show without the pay and the cast members and everything like that. And, you know, they would hear all my crazy dating stories. And this is before I did comedy. And I'm like, well, I need to tell people about my fucking crazy stories. Because I'm sure there's people out there that are dealing with the same shit that I'm dealing with. And it's like, I need to talk to someone about it, tell everyone about it, because, you know, it's
entertainment.
It's entertainment.
And a lot of times it's relatable.
It is relatable.
Everybody's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, and like everyone has at least a few crazy stories of different dates that they've been on.
Oh, I got plenty.
Oh, I do too. I do too. And it's so funny because people are like, how are you meeting these people? Tinder, Bumble, tried Christian Mingle before,
Hell,
Match.
Facebook is just as crazy.
Oh God, that's like the ultimate trash, where the trash bin is like in the middle of Goodwill and it's on fire and you're just trying to pick the ashes that might be good in the middle of this thing. So. So there you go, guys. Don't do Facebook dating because it is Goodwill trash bin on fire trash.
You heard it here.
And that's my advice right there for today.
I've had Bumble, Tinder, Plenty of Fish. I've had them all.
Oh, Plenty of Fish.
And I'm like, why?
I forgot about Plenty of Fish.
They're bottom of the barrel, and I've been on them. So I'm right there with y'all. So I don't know. It's crazy.
And I hear it gets worse as you get older. Because my dad is single, and he's gonna be 51 this year.
Shut up.
Yeah, my parents were young. They didn't know how to pull out, I guess.
Oh my God. Hey, Mom and Dad.
Thank you for bringing me into this world. I'm sorry.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
I'm probably gonna get some text messages after this.
Do not send the link out. No, I'm just kidding.
At least I don't tell anything else, guys. I'll try not to talk about you guys. But you're great. I love you. You have been wonderful.
We're going to have a bloopers episode.
Yes, we should.
That ain't what she said a few minutes ago. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. But,
all right.
Since we're on the topic of dating.
Yes.
If you were able to, date, sleep with any celebrity, who would it be?
Celebrity?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, you got to consider the age.
Okay.
And I think you have to put them 20, 30 years back.
Okay.
And that's giving my age away, I know. But I think Madonna would be crazy in bed. No telling what would show up. Mm-hmm. No telling what she would do. I think the wilder the better, and I think she's done it all. Mm-hmm. Another person I think is like that on that same list is Angelina Jolie. I think she's crazy in bed.
Didn't she make out with her brother one time or something?
She carried a vial of her brother's blood.
Okay, I thought that was
and
her
they
ex-husband.
Was it? I don't know. You might be right.
I think she made out with her brother.
Yeah, she made out with him, kissed,
like in public.
In some interview.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
Yeah, I think it was like her husband, because like some people tell me like I look like Angelina Jolie, and I was a big fan of her. Like when I get my makeup done and everything, like of course Angelina looks fantastic and everything. I look fantastic too, but she's not curvy like me, type of thing.
Yeah.
And I've been told by someone before, they're like, you're like Angelina Jolie, but if you're curvy.
If she was curvy.
Yeah, if she was curvy.
So yeah, I get that. Huh, interesting. So yeah, okay. I look for the abnormal in bed. So if they're gonna be wild and crazy, yes, I want to see that. I'll be a part of that. Mm-hmm. But if it's just normal old fucking, who cares? Anybody can do that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And okay, I'll tell you what. I think. Let me go back. I think when Bruce Willis and Demi Moore were together, I think they taught Will Smith and Jada Pinkett how to be swingers.
Okay.
I have a huge theory on that.
Ah.
With her and her, she call it? Relationship? Not relationship. What did she call that term?
Oh gosh. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, she's hooked up
Gosh.
with plenty of guys besides Will.
Right.
But that means they're in an open relationship.
Yes.
But at a long time ago, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith went on the interview and thanked Bruce Willis and Demi Moore for helping them with their relationship. And I knew back then, you know, Bruce was hooking up with whoever, and then Demi Moore was with Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
So they had an open relationship. So I bet you that they coincide. I know that I'm far stretching this, but
I mean, that makes sense.
I think
Because I think they are swingers.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with swingers whatsoever. Like, if you can handle
But
that.
what did she call it? Not relationship.
Oh,
It
gosh. It was.
The whole thing she does, the Jada.
Yes,
couch,
I know what you're
red
talking
couch,
about.
red
'Cause
light couch. I don't know.
watched the interview and everything.
Yes, and they made memes about it. They made fun about it. He was all, they were
Yeah.
all in the, whatever. It was.
Yeah, it's like, this is not, like, basically, they're probably swingers, and they're in an open relationship, but she went behind his back and not told him about this one. Because from what I've been, like, I have friends that are polyamorous. And,
Yeah.
And from what, because for me, I'm like, I couldn't do that. Like, it's great that people can do that, but I couldn't do that. I have trust issues a little bit.
Yeah.
But they're like, that's what it's all about, is you trust each other, but also you keep an open communication of who you bring in and all this other stuff. Like,
that's very true.
Like, if you're going behind their back, it's probably because you're scared for some reason, and you're not being honest about it.
Yeah.
So it's about a lot of those different things. And, for me, I couldn't do it, but
it's too easy.
I admire people that can.
Yeah.
Because that's like another type of strong.
I'm just saying
when it comes to a relationship, because that's a little bit more, like, there's more work to it to me, in my mindset of it, like, because you have to, like, be open, like, you should always be open and honest in a relationship, but also, there might be times where the person that you're, like, your boyfriend or girlfriend that's not who you're originally with, like, that's just a different aspect to it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I get it, to each their own, but you
Yes.
never know what each person likes unless they bring it up.
Right.
They can communicate about that.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
And that should be, like, always open in the beginning before you get into a relationship, to me, because I actually had an ex that I was with, and he was like, "What's your thoughts on the open relationship?" I'm like, "No, I would never do that." And he brought it up a few times while we were in the relationship. I was like, "Why didn't you bring this up in the first place?" But also, it made me feel like I wasn't good enough for him.
I get you. So yeah, it's two sides of that coin.
Yes.
Some women feel like, yes, I'm not good enough. Then there's other guys who feel like, you're so good, I want to share you with the world.
Right.
And that's some weird mind thoughts, but it
Mhm.
still happens.
Yeah. And it's cool with either or and everything.
Yeah.
And just for me, I'm like, one person is more than enough energy for me. It really is. Like, there's sometimes you're just like there's even times.
It's so funny.
Because there's times, like, I'll, like, if I'm not in a committed, exclusive relationship, there's been times where I go on multiple dates with different guys, and then I, kind of bring it down.
Compare notes and say,
And comparing notes to make sure, not put your eggs in one basket type of ordeal. But then there's times where I'm like, this is just too much work. I'll just see how this one person is. If this person's cool, I'll chill until whatever, you know? But then there's times like, oh man, this is like so much work to like just date multiple people. And then also you're just like, I can't sleep with every single one of them. I probably could, but also that's not a good idea at the same time too, because I don't want to be on the Maury show. This is my saying. I'd rather be safe than sorry and not on fucking Maury.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes.
When Jerry Springer was in Chicago, I went to the show, and I loved it. Oh my God,
yeah.
I loved it.
Does he still film at all? Or
Okay,
is he retired?
moved to a different state. I can't think of what state he's in now. Minnesota? I don't know. But he's not in Chicago anymore.
Minnesota of all places?
I don't.
I've never been to Minnesota, but it seems like it's like
I know it's not in Chicago. I just don't know where it is. And if he's still filming, I don't know. I want to say I know Maury is, but I don't think Jerry Springer is still filming. So anyway, whatever. It is what it is. They're all the same show.
Oh, yeah.
It's all the same craziness.
Yeah. I would say for me, like, when it comes to celebrities, I would say, funny that we brought up Will Smith. Will Smith is actually my first crush ever as a child.
Interesting.
Because, I was watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He just had, like, this confidence and everything. He just seemed so cool, very fashionable, like, just a lot of and then he was funny. Like, he had a lot of personality. But I would have to say right now, I don't remember his name on the top of my head, but it's from this show that's on Netflix. Have you ever heard of Bridgerton?
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I know what you're talking about.
So, he's the Duke, and he's, like, the hottest man ever when it comes to that, or some people find this really interesting, but, like, if I had a chance to go on a date with Joe Coy, I totally would.
Are you serious? You have a picture with Joe Coy?
Yes, I do. So he's my secret crush.
Oh my God.
So when I saw him, like, that close, I'm just like, oh my God. I'm, like, fangirling on the inside, but I don't want to act weird, because, like, once if he sees me, like, I told him that I was a comedian, and he was like, that's great. Just to let you know, there's going to be times where comedy kicks your ass and everything. Just keep on going, and I'll see you on stage in the future. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, he's, like, around, like, the same age as my parents, but I would totally date him if I had the chance.
I want to hang out with his mom. His mom seems hilarious.
Yes. Well, it's really interesting, though, because, like, I've dated a lot of Asian men before.
Oh,
because in Seattle, that's, it's white people and Asian people for the most part, and then everyone else. So, I've always had crushes on Asian guys when I was in Seattle. And, all guys of different ethnicities because they're so diverse compared to here. But, like, yes, I have a thing for Joe Coy.
That is hilarious.
Yes. Like, I mean, even when he was younger, like, I'm like, shoot, he looks good. And with the beard and mustache, he looks even greater.
Do you have one of his jokes that's your favorite skits?
Oh, my favorite. Oh, there's so many that are, like, he makes me laugh with anything that he has. But anytime he, like, talks about his son.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's hilarious, especially the Ting Ting story.
Yeah. My favorite one, and I could watch it a million times, is when he talks about when his mother found out how to play the Wii.
Yes, that one's a funny one, too. Or when they discover that he had sleep apnea.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a bed. And it's funny because ever since I've found out who Joe Coy was, I've actually had a couple of guys that I used to date where I'm like, you need to get yourself checked. You have sleep apnea. And I showed them the Joe Coy stuff. I'm like, this is what you're like in bed. And
that's hilarious.
They're like, okay, I should get checked.
That's funny.
So to the exes out there, you're welcome. I saved your life.
Oh, that's funny.
So now you can make someone else miserable now.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, we're at 28 minutes.
Oh.
So any shout-outs? Anybody you want to say hello to?
Hi to my family. If you've made it through and survived this, you are a trooper. I love you guys.
That's hilarious.
Any future potential guy out there, you're going to find out a lot about me, so this is your determination whether you want to be with me or not.
That's hilarious. This is free advertisement for you.
Yes, it is free advertisement for me.
So I'm going to promote it because it's this Sunday. We have a show coming up Sunday.
Yes.
I'm going to post your picture as soon as I can today.
Perfect.
I got 2 other people who wants to be on the show, so I'm going to post them as well.
Yay.
So, yeah, every day I'm going to post something different. So, yes, I'm so excited. You're going to be on the show Sunday.
Yes.
If you're here in Nashville, come check us out at Rebar at the Dam.
It's going to be so much fun, and you can take pictures with me. I would love it. If you're really cute, maybe even a date. By buy me a drink, you don't know what will happen. Kidding.
I gotta do it. Okay, with that being said, love, peace, and hair grease, and we are out of here.
Bye.